guys, it's Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is an extremely late, 11 days late, lesson review. Basically, I did not have a lesson on the Monday that just passed, as it was Thanksgiving Monday in Canada, so I didn't have a lesson October 11th, but I had one on the 4th, and I had planned to record this a lot earlier and post it during the week of the 11th. And then I forgot about it, and I got braces, so I couldn't really talk too well. So if I sound any different, it's because I have braces now. But, anyways, let's get into the lesson review. So, to start off this lesson, I was almost late again, or I was late this time. Same as last time, but not as late, because there was a very big accident on the way to my barn that there was no way of getting around, really, except for some really bad, really slow side roads that we had to take. So we did that, and I was late. But even though I was late, when I got to the barn, there was nobody there. Rachel, the barn manager, wasn't there. My instructor was in the office, and usually she's waiting in the barn for us, and I knew my friend was going to be late, so it was kind of weird that there was absolutely nobody in the barn. But eventually my instructor appeared, and I started getting Major ready, and then Alexia came and started getting Oliver ready, and once our horses were ready, we headed into the arena. And yeah, we did the walk trot on the ground warm up like we usually do. We had to fix our stirrups, which took 10 minutes because we had both forgotten to measure them because we were both in such a big rush because we were both late. So that was fun. Oh yes, so I actually made a little present for Hillary, and before I started tacking up, I gave it to her. Basically, it was a framed picture of her horse Zen in black and white, and it looked professional. So I framed it, and I gave it to her. She was so happy. I'm so glad that I gave it to her. She was so happy about it. We did a lot of trot work during this lesson, as well as learning how to slow our horses down without pulling on our reins at all. And basically, to do that, you tighten your fingers and you sit deep and back, and if you squeeze just a little bit so they stay forward, it worked really well. Major was perfect. Oliver did it well too. And I don't really remember too much from this lesson because I wrote this lesson review on paper a while after my lesson, so it's not very detailed. But at the end of our lesson, Hillary asked us if we wanted to canter, and obviously I said yes. And I was actually a little bit surprised that Alexia said yes, because she's fallen off many times, and I wasn't sure if she'd want to canter given how many bad experiences she'd had. But we both did it. Major was perfect. He did everything that I asked. Obviously, I was a little bit rusty and bumpy as I hadn't cantered since I think it might have been June. It's been a while. And Alexia did an amazing job for her first canter. I had my first canter on Oliver as well. I definitely did not look as good as she did. She looked amazing on him. Though I did start on the lunge line and she didn't, and that's just Hillary's way of teaching. Hillary prefers that we don't start on the lunge line because a lunge line can often put a rider off balance, given the horse is on a circle, so they'll be leaning in and trying to gain their balance. So, some instructors may think, oh, it's going to help you gain balance because you don't have to deal with the horse. You should be learning how to deal with the horse from the start so that it's not such a big shock when you start cantering off the lunge line. So Alexia did amazing. Sorry about that mini rant. We did it a couple times. Alexia did make Hillary run beside her when she was cantering because she was nervous about it, but it was funny. So we got off. We didn't do any theory because we had no time and our lesson ran late, but at least there was no lesson after us tonight. So then we untacked our horses and groomed our horses, and then Hillary asked, okay, this next part is interesting. But basically, before our lesson, Hillary had asked us if after our lesson we could tack up a couple horses for her because she had no volunteers. So I tacked up Topaz, and Alexia tacked up Cooper and Tia. And Hillary asked me to bring Topaz into the arena, and I had just suspected that she just wanted me to warm her up. So I did the ground warm-up for her, and then she comes up to me and says, "Hey, Abby, can you get on the horse?" And then there's me just I can't say no to my instructor because I'm worried she'll be mad at me, but I should really go call my mom. So I got on the horse, and yeah, and if this ever happens again, I will call my mother beforehand. Don't yell at me. I'll most definitely call my mother. Yeah, but yeah, I should have asked if I could call my mother first. I don't know why I keep saying this, but I definitely should have asked to call my mom first, but it was all okay in the end, at least for me. So I got on Topaz to school her, as she hadn't been ridden in 3 weeks since when I had rode her for my first lesson because she was lame. Topaz was really actually quite well behaved for not being ridden in 3 weeks. We mostly just did walk, and we did a little bit of trotting, and I got to practice backing up on her. This was this was all going on while there was other lessons going on, so I just kind of tried to stay out of their way and just do my thing with Topaz. Topaz was so well behaved, and I was surprised, given that a lot of horses that she doesn't really like were in the arena. And just a bit of background, Topaz is the sassiest, most not aggressive, but she's got a big personality. So I was surprised that she wasn't acting up at all. So good on Topaz. So I stayed inside on the inside track while the second lesson was going on, because the first lesson that I kind of joined into, I guess you could say, they were just cooling down their horses when I was warming up Topaz, so we were just both walking, so I wasn't in their way at all. But for the second lesson that was going on, when they were warming up, I was just trotting around a little bit, and that was great. And okay, when I'm on this horse, my mom walks by the door and looks at me with the most confused face ever on. I didn't really understand what was going on either, but I just kept riding the horse. Topaz felt a little off, but she's Topaz, so she always does. Topaz's hips don't seem to be built the right way, so she pushes up more and you kind of go up farther. But yeah, I rode the horse around, and I got to watch one of my camp counselors from the summer ride because I was riding Topaz during her lesson. So that was interesting. And then Alexia also got on Tia, and I was not expecting that to happen because Tia was supposed to be being ridden in the lesson. And then Tia's rider didn't show up, so Alexia just got on Tia, and then we got off of these horses that we weren't supposed to be riding. We untacked them, and then Alexia's mom yelled really loudly into the barn, spooked Topaz. So basically, Alexia just untacked her horse, untacked Tia, put her away, and then I got stuck with untacking Topaz and cleaning 4 sets of tack. So that was great. Luckily, my mom wasn't very mad at me, unlike Alexia's mother, clearly. But she wasn't terribly mad at me, but she told me, if that ever happens again, call me first, which I most definitely will. But that was a very hectic lesson, and hopefully the lesson that I have this coming Monday in 3 days now, I think it is, will go better. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson review, and I will see you next time. Bye!